So, it's a pleasure for me to have you here. You are really an expert in Pakistan, so that's really exciting for me. And you are a fascinating person. So, tell me a little bit about you and your personal story.
Okay, well, first let me start by saying that I'm delighted to be here, not just in Berlin, but in this very historic and wonderful building. And you shared with us some of the history of this building, which is very inspiring, I must say. And in that context, the reason why I'm here and the meetings that we are holding, it is very apt and very appropriate that they are held in this wonderful building of Excel Springer. Now, coming to myself, it's not a very interesting story or very glamorous. I did my MBA and I wanted to get into business. I had never any idea of getting into media, but fate had planned otherwise, and I got into media, and it was very difficult to get out because I think the media is such a wonderful platform. It is such an enabling platform that it allows you to do so many things. And particularly for a country like Pakistan, where a lot needs to be done, it has helped us change things. We are, as we speak, engaged in many projects which will have, in our humble opinion, a long-reaching, paradigm-changing effect on Pakistan, its economy, on the region, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But again, coming back to your question, why we are here, I'm on the board of the INMA South Asia, which is the International News Media Association, which is a US-based company, an association of news media people. It's their global meeting here, and they've invited me as a guest because I'm not on the global board, I'm on the South Asian board. Excuse me. We are thinking of setting up a Middle East division based out of Pakistan, and I might be able to contribute in that because INMA is now trying to reach out to include the areas of Africa, Middle East, the Persian Gulf, and indeed Pakistan. And that's the purpose of this meeting, to make presentations to the INMA Global Board about the bottom lines, about the effectiveness and efficacy of such an endeavor.
Oh, fantastic. So, let's come to your work and your business. What do you do for a living?
Well, as I said, I'm a media person. I am the group managing director of the Jang group, which is the largest media group in Pakistan. We have 17 print publications, including magazines, newspapers, afternoon papers in 2 languages, in Urdu, which is the national language of Pakistan, and in English. We also have publications out of the UK, the largest ethnic language newspaper published from the UK for the last maybe 35 years. We have the most dynamic, the most influential, and the fastest growing television channel, which is called Geo.
Yeah.
We have a fairly substantial digital presence, which we are trying to improve because of the rapid changes and advancements taking place on the digital platform. So I run the print side of the business. We are divided into 2 divisions, the electronic or the television side and the print side. I have been part of the marketing and the management team for a long time. I was also group managing editor, and now for the last 5 years, I am the group managing director of the largest media group in Pakistan, the Jang Group.
Wow, that's really exciting. So, when we have a look on the media landscape of Pakistan, how is the digital world in Pakistan?
Well, it's growing very rapidly. It's growing exponentially, in fact. But the base is so small that it has not really begun to impact either the other medias, whether television, outdoor, or print. But it is growing very fast, and I think smart companies, and we hope that we are not too out of sync with the developments taking place, would like to take advantage of this this change in the landscape. Digital media is here to stay, to grow, and to really compete. The challenge for legacy media, as we might want to call it, is to adapt and to provide value-added services, information and entertainment to a very discerning audience, a younger audience, a far more informed audience which knows what they want, how they want it, when they want it quickly, and they want it on the go. So we have to adapt to that, and I think an amalgamation of the electronic media, the print media, and a very robust and dynamic digital presence is what is required.
Oh yeah, exciting. So one question, what do you think are the major differences between the European and the market in Pakistan?
I think on the development curve, we are at different places. The European market, including the German market, is at a much far advanced stage. Pakistan and other countries in the region are just waking up to that reality, and I think there is much to learn. In some of the INMA conferences, we've learned of the developments that are taking place, the advancements that are taking place, and we are keen to learn from those developments and implement them in Pakistan. But the change is already in Pakistan, and we have a lot of companies who are consulting. Incidentally, the Jang website is one of the most popular websites, not just in Pakistan, but in the world, because all the Pakistanis living anywhere in the world and all Urdu-speaking people look at Jang, which is the largest newspaper in Pakistan, as a very authentic and a very dynamic, current source of news. So they come to it again and again. The trick is now to monetize that presence, to provide diversity of content, entertainment, information, so that they come and they stay. They come for the news, but we move them to other areas of entertainment, fashion, weather, traffic, crime, anything, sports, and then to monetize that, so that we have a parallel revenue stream which is able to help us when the dip finally comes in legacy newspapers.
Amazing. So regarding to that, as you see it, what are the key success factors in the digital world?
Well, I think we need to make it very current. We need to focus on breaking news very fast, because whoever is able to create the perception that this is the website to go to when you want to know. And then people are hungry for news, so they just wonder, have I missed anything? So they go to that particular site. And once you get them, the trick must be to retain them. It's not that they come, they look at you and they go away. They come to you for the news, they come to you to find out what's happening, and then you retain them and you divert them to other areas of interest. And I think that's something that we need to really work on.
Oh, thank you. So there was one point you are working on a very amazing project. Maybe you can tell me something about that.
Yes. Let me just give you a little bit of history.
Yeah.
We are part of the Indo-Pak subcontinent in South Asia. For the last several centuries, there was just one country, which was India. In August of 1947, India was divided into two countries, Pakistan and India. Pakistan is basically a Muslim country, and India is divided on the basis of religion, which is Hinduism. There are a lot of Muslims in India, in fact more Muslims in India than in Pakistan. But the way it was divided was not very perfect. It left many wounds, and there are several disputes between India and Pakistan. Some of them are real complex disputes, some of them are imaginary disputes, which vested interests in both countries have tried to amplify. As a result, we have been to war 3 times, and both countries have built a nuclear armament which they cannot afford. So potentially it is the most volatile region on the face of the earth, because we have 2 countries, one of them 10 times larger than the other country, both nuclear armed. They have been to war 3 times. They are eyeball to eyeball on the borders, and any escalation of disputes could turn into a nuclear conflict. So it is a matter of great concern for the whole world, for that matter. And the region is suffering because it is being destabilized. For the longest time, both governments, the government of Pakistan and the government of India, have tried to come to some sort of an arrangement, some sort of an agreement, which is fair, sustainable, honorable, where both parties negotiate from a position of equality and not one of strength or weakness. But they have failed because of the very powerful vested interests in both countries, which are inimical to peace. So about 3 years ago, the Jang group, as the largest media group in the country, we said, what is it that we could do for Pakistan, a country we live in, and we want to contribute to this country and this community. And we realized that all the problems that Pakistan had, the absence of democracy, a failing economy, the rise of religious extremism, terrorism, the very poor international image that Pakistan has, all of this was really linked to that one factor of our existence, which is our relationship with India. So if we could put that right, everything else would fall into place. But it was a huge, humongous project because governments had failed to do it and international lobbies had faced to do it. All the capitals in the world, including Berlin and Washington and London, they had all failed. So we decided to launch a peace campaign to bring peace between the two countries. We went to India, we met with the Times of India, which is our counterpart in India, to the largest media groups, and we together launched a campaign which is called Aman ki Asha, which means hope for peace. And these are two different words. One is the Urdu word, which is Pakistani language, and Hindi, which is the Indian language. So, but we understand each other's language because the dialect is pretty much the same. And we launched this campaign. We went to the government, we went to the military, we went to civil society, we went to all mainstream political parties, and we said we are going to launch this campaign to bring about negotiated, durable, fair peace between India and Pakistan. On the one hand, we have a very vibrant media platform, so we will discuss our disputes, which have never really been discussed openly and fairly, with the willingness to see the other person's point of view. So we will discuss our disputes in public, openly, with the government point of view, with the global think tank points of view, every point of view. We will bring about economic collaboration, trade, investments, and greater people-to-people contacts between the two countries. And we launched on the 1st of January 2010. Since then, there has been no greater movement for peace between India and Pakistan than the Aman ki Asha movement.
Fascinating.
And I take great pride in the fact that the Jang Group and the Times of India are partnering such a movement which has caught the imagination of the people of both countries, which has put a lot of pressure on both countries. And during the last 3 years, there have been paradigm changes in perceptions and in actual advancement and improvement in relations between the two countries at the government level, at the people's level, at the intelligentsia level, at the academic level, at the youth level, and particularly between the two business communities.
Great.
So that's something that we are working on, and it's something which is a source of great satisfaction to us.
So thank you so much for this interview and good luck for you.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here, and thank you again for the wonderful hospitality of lending this magnificent historic building to our conference and board meetings.
Thank you.